Hi there. So I am just going to pop this onto its stand. I have discovered that if I don't start the video off in landscape, then it continues in portrait, which is kind of annoying because I've done one video already and discovered that it didn't work. So yay, go me! So hopefully round 2 is a better video. All right, as you probably know, Craft Alive has had to be cancelled, so boo-hoo, no seeing people in person. However, what I thought I would do is just pop together a series of videos for you, just showing you some of my Christmas in, cross out July and call it Christmas in June. And I'm going to show you how to make various things. So this one here is the one that I was meant to be teaching at Craft Alive. It's a really cute little card, folds down like that, and this part doesn't come off, so at least when your person gets it in the mail and they go, ooh, oh yes, look at that, it goes together. Hopefully, that's the theory anyway. Excuse the props. I saw this cute little bell, I think it's called a German bell or something, online on Pinterest, and I thought, ooh, I like that. I think that'll look really cute on the Christmas tree. So I thought I might show you how to do that too. Then I saw this idea and I thought, oh, I reckon it needs a little pot to stand up. So it does actually stand up on its own, and it's double-sided. So I thought you might like to know how to make that. This one here I've actually done a blog post on, and the theory is that you get a little electronic tea light, and oh my goodness, it's working, that's good. It wasn't working the first time round, so that's why I'm going, oh wow. So then that will stand in there. I don't recommend you use a proper candle in it. Funny that. Anyway, yes, so that's a little tea light there, and so on my blog there is a tutorial, so like picture by picture tutorial that will be going live on Thursday at 11 AM. So you'll be able to check that out as well. And there is this little card with these cute little tassels. So I'm going to show you how to create tassels. I'm not doing this all in this video, by the way. This is going to be over the next few days. So don't panic. You don't have to be watching me for hours on end. And that's it. If I get the chance, I was also going to show you how to make this, because this is rather gorgeous. I made that up this morning and I thought, ooh, it was meant to be something completely different, and then it ended up being a tree. So as you do, you know, it was going to be a bauble, and then I started off doing the bauble and went, oh, that would make quite a cool tree actually. So it turned out as a tree. However, I'm going to move off some of these bits that we're not going to do today. Excuse the scrunching and scrabbling around. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. And let's get rid of the blocks, because we don't need those at the moment. Oh, get back in there. Thank you very much. And this is what I am going to teach you how to make today. So the thing that I'm using, I made this up for the show, of course, to put on the wall, and so anyway, you guys have to see it because I've already made it up. So waste not, want not, as they say. That's what my gran always used to say. All right. So the Tidings of Christmas suite, it's $100.50, which I have a special on this month. So if you happen to order over $100, which let's face it, this comes in at just over $100, so $100 before postage, then I will send you in the mail afterwards at some point, hopefully this month, but if you know, obviously if your order's really late, then it'll end up being next month, a pack of the In Colour jewels. So how pretty are these? I just love them. Anyway, so if you order over $100, you'll get a pack of those from me for free. So they're worth $12.25 or $12.75 or something. So it's a good bargain. In the suite, you have a stamp set. Hold on a minute. Stamp set. a die set, of which half the dies are all out and about all over the place, so you'll have to take my word for it. It cuts out these bits, all of these bits down here basically. And you also have beautiful ribbon. Gee, the Stampin' Up ribbons are just so soft. I love them. And these 6 by 6 stack of designer series papers. So they are double-sided, so you do have, this is one side, this is the other side, and so on down the sheet. And that is what I am using from today. Gonna move that off there. And just put it down there. Have you all seen the catalogue, by the way? So this is the new annual catalogue, which, oh, it's so gorgeous. I have got a whole heap of labels on mine so that I can hopefully find what I want in a hurry, but that's not quite the usual way of things happening. This is the suite. They've got a few ideas and things in this already, so if you were to get the suite, you'd have a whole heap of different ideas as well as what I'm showing you today. Oh, I'll just tell you a little sneaky thing. Next month I'm doing Christmas in July, a mega workshop. So my mega workshops are a whole day's worth. We start at 10:30, go through till 3:30, and we're going to be making 12 individual cards, and we're using this suite here. So if you join in my mega workshop, you actually get this as part of the price of the workshop. So it's a really cool punch that punches all those trees out, and then this beautiful stamp set as well. Anyway, that's a bit of an aside really, isn't it? Let's just pop that down there. Oh, and the other thing I should tell you about, because we're going to get onto this eventually, is that the mini catalogue, if you have one of these, it only goes to the end of June. Okay, so bear in mind that it is going to go at the end of the month, and there are some things that you are not going to be able to get. Again, there is a last chance product list, which if you're on my email list, you'll already have this. Check it out because there are some absolute bargains to be had. And bear in mind, when you're ordering something that might be a bundle, it might actually be cheaper to buy it as the stamp set and the punch, or stamp set and the dies as individuals rather than buying it as the bundle, because a lot of them have worked out cheaper that way. They've discounted, say, the stamp set, and then they've discounted the dies, but they haven't discounted the bundle, if that makes sense. So check it out. Hop along to my website and have a look. Anyway, we're going to move on to this now. So when I first start out making a card using designer series paper, what I'll do is I'll actually grab out all the colours that are in that particular paper stack. So this is the designer series paper, and it actually has it in really tiny writing here what colours are used, and then I usually write mine in much bigger writing so that I can see it without having to get my glasses out every single time. So in this particular set we have got these 5 colours. So we've got Cherry Cobbler, Evening Evergreen, Soft Succulent, Sahara Sand and the Misty Moonlight. So at that point I go, well, I really probably should use those colours because they're going to coordinate nicely with the papers. So that's what I do. Anyway, you don't have to, but you know, that's what I do. So we will need to use a couple of stamps, and I've pre-cut a couple of things. Well, no, actually I've pre-cut one thing, in fact. So you've got your base card, which I have cut, admittedly, and then you've got this piece here. So this piece here I have cut to 13 centimetres long by 7.4 wide. Might seem like a really odd measurement, but when you have a piece of A4 paper, if you cut it in half, it's 14.8. If you cut that in half again, 7.4. So it's less wastage, in my opinion. I'm not keen on wasting cardstock if I don't have to. So I've cut that anyway. And the other thing I want to do is I want to cut this. I kind of like this Sahara Sand look behind the stockings rather than a really bright look. I mean, potentially, I suppose I could use that, or you know, I could use a brighter cardstock, but I like this. So this one, because designer series paper comes in inches, I have cut it in inches, and I've cut it 2.5 by 4 3/4. So 2.5. When you're using your cutter, just in case you're a bit of a newbie at this, what you need to do is make sure that the edge of your cardstock is butted up right against there. Because if you have it like this and then you've got it a bit like that, you're going to end up with an angle on your cardstock, which is great if that's what you want, but most of the time you don't. So let's move that piece away. We don't need that piece, and I wanted it by 4 3/4 inches. 4 3/4. So as I say, just make sure that it's pushed up against this side, and then you can trim off the excess. The cool thing with these trimmers is that you've got a scorer and a trimmer, and they will move completely off the deck. So if you've got a piece of 12 by 12 scrapbooking paper, you can put it in there and know that you can cut all the way through your scrapbooking paper, or you can score all the way through it. You don't have to take off the scorer to be able to cut and so on. So, yay, look at that, it fits. Fabulous. All right, oh dear, sorry, I think I just knocked you. Now, what I need to do is show you how to create these tassels. Yay for tassels. And we are going to do it out of this ribbon. So we're also creating this out of the ribbon too. So you will find that this is the chevron weave ribbon that is the evening evergreen colour. Okay, and it's part of this suite. So you'll find that you can actually pull all right, this worked. This was working fine. There we go. All right, so you should be able to just pull this and you end up with your fuzzy end. Then once you've decided how much of a tassel you want, just grab your material scissors and trim that piece off. And then you want to take this long piece here and start wrapping it round there. So you just want to wrap it round and round and round and round and round until you are happy that that's going to be, yep, that's going to keep it in place. So what I've then used is some of my glue dots. So mini glue dots to the rescue. And all right, let's just grab one of those off. And we're going to pop that on top of there and trim off. Okay, in theory, trim off that piece. Okay, the other thing, so don't throw this part out because you want that. Obviously, I need to clean my scissors. Excellent. Where's my glue dot gone to? So just pop yourself another glue dot onto the end of there, and that part there will just fold over onto itself. Hopefully you can see this. And then that way you've got one of those. There we go. So one down. So then we come back in and we do the same thing again. Just make sure that it's going to be about the same, a little bit more than that. That looks about right. Trim off. And we can move the ribbon away now. So that can just wrap it round and round and round. You wrap me right round, baby, right round. Not that I'm a child of the 80s or anything like that. All right. And then we can do the same thing again and pop a glue dot on top of that. So I'm just going to grab my glue dot, pop it on there. Oh, trim that piece off and put that to one side and then get stuck to it. Yay! Yay, go me, I'm stuck. So a really easy way of getting your glue dots, hang on a minute, I'm just going to trim off that bit there so that I've got a nice end there. Not that it's going to stay that way for long. Easy way to get your glue dots off there, just press it on, pull it off, and that will just, there we go. There. All right, so now we have our two tassels. So then we want to just take this and, okay, this is very non-COVID safe, as they say. So it's a good job I'm not doing this in person. So just lick your fingers and just using your slightly damp fingers, just go through and straighten this out. There we go. I just won't tell whoever I send this to that I've licked my fingers on it. So what I've then done is just folded that into 4 and twist it round a bit. I don't think we need that piece, so we can get rid of that, or it can stick to my fingers or whatever. And where's my glue dots gone to? Did I just pop them back into there? No, I put them over there. That would be right. Isn't it amazing? I don't know whether you find the same thing when you're doing crafting, that you'll put something down and then it's just disappeared and you know that you had it. So just make sure that your cardstock's the right way up before you do this. So I want this near the top of my cardstock, but so probably about 1 centimetre to 1.5 centimetres down. There we go. And if you can do it even on both sides, that's probably a good thing. Then you just stick down one side and you stretch it across and you stick down the other side. And then you look at the front of it and go, oh, actually, that's quite accurate. Excellent. Let's trim off. Really need proper material scissors when you're doing anything with the ribbons. Paper snips are fabulous for paper, but I don't find they're the most fabulous for doing material stuff. All right, we are halfway there. Ooh. We can just go ahead and attach these down. So let's just use a bit of Tombow on this. There it is. My Tombow onto there, down to there, and flatten it all down. There we go. So I've used Wishing You a Joyful Christmas and Happy New Year because it was nice and thin and it would fit. But I reckon Noel or Cheers would also fit nicely, so I thought I would go with Cheers. Cheers from our home to yours. So I'm going to use the cherry cobbler because nice and bright. And pop that hopefully in the middle there. And get on you, Heather, on an angle. I reckon I'm going to be finding something and sticking it out on top of that and after I finish the video. That'd be right. Very difficult to see it from this angle rather than this angle. That's my excuse anyway, and I'm sticking to it. All right, we have these pieces here, so we can add these on using a glue dot. Put the glue dot onto the back of there, add one onto there, grab another glue dot onto the back of this one, add it onto there. There we go. So this can now be stuck to my card as well, because the other bits are going to be stamped and then added. Oh, no. The good thing with the Tombow glue is if you do choose to use it, you actually do have just that little bit of wiggle room time. So if you look at it and you go, oh no, hang on a minute, that needs to go down a wee bit more, then it actually gives you that little bit of time just to go, wait. Not heaps of time, I will say, but just a little bit. And sometimes a little bit is all you need. All right, so we've got that part there done now. Just going to get rid of that end. And now we need to start stamping the extra bits. Let me find my Stamparatus. So I've lined up my two stockings on here. I don't know if you can see this with the Stamparatus, but there's actually like a not engraved line, that sort of, yeah, I suppose it might be engraved line on it. So you can actually see it in centimeters. So you've got and when you look at this, you can see the centimeters through it. Hopefully that makes sense. So anyway, I knew that I was down by about 1 centimetre, so I could actually line up my paper at this 1 centimetre mark. And the other thing is, just because, you know, I can, so if you're using just a normal stamp that has the red rubber on it, it's going to have that foam backing to it, whereas the photopolymer stamps don't have the foam backing. So Stampin' Up have made these little things that go inside here. I've bought the one that has the grid lines on it, but it does come with just a plain black one, so that you know. So I'm just going to pop that up the other way round, add it in, and put my magnet down. Another thing with the Stamparatus, the magnets are fabulous. But they are very, very fragile. If you drop your magnet, it will shatter. So therefore, I recommend you just get yourself some of this plastic tape stuff, not washi tape, because washi tape's a bit thin. And this is quite robust. It'll help protect your magnet, and it also, if you give it a bit of a lip like that, it gives you something to lift your magnet up and down with. So we have got those two, and we are going to be using Soft Succulent on this side. On one side of the boxing ring there is Soft Succulent. And the other side has Misty Moonlight. Probably not really boxing ring sort of names, are they? Bit too pretty. All right. And stamp those down. You see how I've got a bit of extra on there? It doesn't really matter because it's not going to show. So let's just push that down, and fingers crossed that's not too bad. I might just see whether there's any more ink on that bit there. That's better. Okay, the good thing is that when you've got one of these, if it doesn't ink up properly, all you do, re-ink, and you press it down again, and it's in exactly the same spot, so you know that it's going to be fine. So like there's a little bit there that hasn't quite inked up properly, and I'm just going to push that down and see if, there you go, that's a bit better. So there's that. And I'm just going to take that off. Did you know with the Stamparatus you can do this? So I know with other ones like the Misty, you can't actually remove the boards and turn it round and have another stamping surface. It comes with 2 of these boards, so you've actually got 2 sides to it, and you can also move it out like this. So potentially if you wanted to create a repeating pattern with these, you could actually just move it out, stamp it, move it out, stamp it, and so on. So yeah, I think it's really cool. I like this. I'm just going to move those out of the way because you don't really need to see me cleaning stuff. I don't know that you do, and you can do if you want to, but you know, hey. So we've got those. The other thing we need to do is stamp this. So I'm just going to bring in my stamping mat because as we mentioned, the photopolymer stamp doesn't have its own cushioning. So I'm going to do one in blue. There it is. And now I will bring in my cleaner because I want to use it again. So I'm just going to clean this off. So this is my stamping chamois, and literally all you do is damp it down with water, leave it a little bit damp, and it will grab the ink off your stamps for you. Absolutely fantastic. I keep mine in one of these cases which Stampin' Up sell. I also keep other things in these cases like my pens and things like that because it's just a convenient storage really. So, and oh, the other one I was going to do was red. Oh, before that dries too much, I'm just going to use one of my blender pens and move the colour around a bit. There it is. With the blender pens, you don't want to overwork it because you'll find that if you do it, it will ball the paper. And the other one is the red. So I'll pop that onto its side. That's the cherry cobbler. Let's, ooh, that moved really nicely. There we go. Do recommend after using it that you just run it off on some scrap paper until it runs clear, and then you can move on to your next colour. So, oh, that's a good point actually. What I have done is I've coloured in this stocking. So again, I've used my blender pen, and when I use my ink pads, if you squish them together before you open them, it gives you this little pool of ink in here, and then you can just add, oh, where are we? Little dots of red for the berries. I know they're not actually berries, these particular bits, but I kind of thought they looked quite nice to be as berries instead of just little squirrely bits. One more there. I think that's pretty good. We'll get rid of the red on there. I do not know what's in these, but just think they're really cool because they you can just use them with different colours, so you can create whatever you want to. So we're just going to use a bit of soft succulent on these bits here. It makes this stocking look really pretty actually, being slightly coloured in. I think that's about it. And again, just get rid of the excess colour on your blender pen. These come in a pack of 3, which is really handy because I tend to find that I lose a couple of them. Very useful for people who lose things easily. Alright, now we need to cut these out, so I am going to put everything out of the way and bring in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Dun dun dun! Right, we've got one stocking. So when you line up the Stampin' Up ones, you don't leave a line around the outside of it. It will actually fit exactly. think so, yes. And that one's moved, bless it. There. I think we're there. Quick, put the lid on, cut it out. Gotta say, I do love my new Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. It's got, I don't know if you can see this, but it's got this little bit of a gap which the Big Shot didn't used to have. So it's actually really nice, because if you do accidentally get these the plates off kilter or whatever, then it doesn't actually matter. It doesn't go ahead and squeal at you as you try and put it through. Oh, come on. Get it in the right place, Heather. No, that was so close. That's good. And there it is. 1, 2. Let's get rid of that. Move those off. Put those down there. Put my cutters over there. Let's put that back into there. Do you see what I mean about it being a little bit off kilter and it doesn't matter? Which is always good for someone like me, actually. I'm not really perfect with everything, as you'll probably realise. Okie dokes. Alrighty, so bring these cards back in again now. And we have got these pieces here to go onto this card now. So I'm going to bring back in these bits and obviously some of that string, because, you know, we can. Did you know dimensionals come in 2 different sizes? So they come in small, mini dimensionals and large dimensionals. You got, I think you get 700 and something dimensionals when you buy it this way, and you get 300 when you buy it this way. But they're just incredibly handy in both sizes. So I'm just going to turn everything over. There we go, that's so much quicker. And I want 1, 2, 3. Obviously, use your sides too. So 1, 2, 3, and then we're just going to go with a mini dimensional in the middle of this. I don't think I used them on my original card, but I think I will this time. I think it looks quite cute to have it sitting up a bit. And then we take these parts off here. 1, 2, 3, and hang that one. 1. You know, there's a lot easier way of doing it, is you just put your nail onto it and it picks up the edge for you. If you don't have a nail, just, you know, use the edge of this and pick it up. And 2. Then which way to go with it? I might go this one onto here this time, and that one onto there. Core decisions, it's such a tough decisions. Okay, so the other thing I have used is a couple of these beautiful little in colour jewels, which are the ones that if you order $100 this month, then you'll get these for free. Remember that. And just pick, oh my goodness, which colour am I going to use this time? I think I'm going to go the soft succulent on this one, because that matches what's underneath it. And what to go with? Might go the yellow on this one, which is not called yellow, it's called pale papaya, I think. Yes, that's right. Let's just tuck those back into there before I lose them all again. So there you go. that is how you can create those. Oh, I didn't tell you this, but just a word of warning. You know how we managed to rip this out going this way? It doesn't work going this way, okay? So bear that in mind. That's why I didn't take one piece and do it on either side, because it just doesn't work the other way. I don't know why, but it doesn't. So there we go. All right, so that is what I wanted to show you for now. Oh, there was something else I was going to show you. Where did I put them? Excuse my arm. Oi. So this month, if you are anywhere near me, so I live in Llanacurry, which is halfway between Bendigo and Maryborough, you can come and make some cards with me if you want to. I have my own classroom at home, and this month we are doing some kids cards, whether they're big kids or small kids. We are going puffins, and if you look at my blog, you'll actually see some more information about it. But if you are nowhere near here and you go, I really love those cards, Heather, I want to make them too, there is an option to be able to do it that way too, so I can send it out by mail. Just check out my blog. And thank you so much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed this, and come back for another one. Thanks. Bye.